Many times we don't have the right tool for the job, but having the right skill for the job is an important aspect of survival. Remember, the most important thing in a survival situation is you. In any survival situation, luck plays a major part on your survival. What do I mean by that? Pretty much everything is out of your control. But what if I could share 3 things with you that will put luck on your side? In any emergency situation, you're going to be wherever you are when the emergency happens. You might be at home, you might be on your farm, you might be a place where you've got all the gear that you need. But most likely, you might be at work, you might be at school, you might be on vacation. And what are you going to have with you when the time comes? All the gear and food and clothing and weapons and ammunition that you've put away and stored may not be accessible to you right away, and you have to survive with just what you have. If you recall the movie Rambo: First Blood with Sylvester Stallone, he went out into the woods with nothing but a knife, and he was able to survive with just the equipment that he had on him. How did he do this? Well, I'm going to share that with you. So let's say you're 40 or 50 miles away from your home base and you're stuck. Your vehicle doesn't work and everything has just gone to hell. What do you have with you right now that is going to help you survive and get back to your home base? The most important thing I think you have with you are your skills. Now those skills can be everything from wilderness survival skills, maybe you're a runner, an athlete. Everybody has skills, but are those skills suited for getting you back to your loved ones? So step 1 will be to do a skills assessment. What do you know a lot about? What do you know a little about? What do you know nothing about at all? This is the first place that I would start. Just like you would with your food storage, you need to know where you are right now before you can get to where you want to be. And learning those skills are priceless. How are you going to get those skills? Well, you can read about things that you want to learn about. If you want to learn about gardening, you can read books about gardening. If you want to learn about wilderness survival, then grab some books on wilderness survival. These are some of the skills that you might want to learn if you're weak in these areas. Another way to learn a new skill is to take a class. If you do a Google search, you can find a class on just about anything you want, whether it's an online course, a hybrid course, or a hands-on course. If you want to improve your shooting skills, maybe the online class isn't the best one for you. But if you want to learn gardening, maybe an online class would meet the needs. There's many different ways to learn, but the most important thing is that you take the time and actually learn the skill. The second thing you're going to want to do once you learn a skill is to practice that skill. Practicing the skill seems mundane. You think, well, I've already learned the skill. If the time comes, I can use it. You need to learn these skills so they become second nature. When an emergency strikes, you're going to have to jump right in and start doing what you learned. You're not going to have time to pull out a book or look on your phone if it still works. So why is it so important to continually practice these skills that you've learned? Well, for example, I am a medic. Every 2 years, I have to get certified in CPR. Every year, I need to do about 40 hours of continuing education on everything from bleeding management to respiratory issues to ambulance safety. These are the things that I have to do all the time. And the reason that I practice these skills is so when I do have a bleeding emergency, I can act on it immediately. Other people that practice their skills on a regular basis are doctors, law enforcement. Imagine if law enforcement got certified with their firearms when they got hired, but they never went back to the range to master their skills. They would be pretty ineffective on the street. Athletes are another group of people that constantly train, whether it's a football player, a basketball player, or a runner. Runners sometimes spend hundreds, maybe thousands of hours running just to shave 1/10 of a second off of their run. Isn't that crazy? Well, the same principle applies to us as preppers and survivalists. We need to be able to shave off that 1/10 of a second when it really counts. Skills must be continually practiced to learn muscle memory. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. This goes for cooking, canning, freeze drying, carpentry, animal husbandry, raising chickens, and every other aspect of your homestead or your preps. You need to know what to do without having to open up a book. This way you become the master prepper. So lastly, how are we going to put all of this stuff together? If you've watched any of my other videos, I have a 3-part process for any person that wants to learn something. The first thing is to learn the skill. The second thing is to master that skill, and finally, teach the skill. Now you might be thinking to yourself, how am I going to teach this skill? Who am I going to teach it to? Maybe you get together with your family once a month, and after supper, you'll get together and teach each other a new skill. Maybe you're a member of an affinity group of like-minded individuals, such as a church or homeschool group. This would be a good group of people to get together and learn from each other. Do you teach any skills? Leave me a comment below and let me know what it is. I think most of us understand that things aren't doing well in our country and around the world for that matter. What are we preparing for? Are we preparing for some doomsday event or an EMP or a bank collapse? It really doesn't matter what we're preparing for as long as we're actually doing the work. Your skills assessment is like a roadmap. You need to know where you're at before you can get to where you're going. So learn those skills, practice those skills, and teach those skills. Don't wait until it's too late to learn a skill. Learn a skill today. Put it on your calendar and learn 1 skill a day or 1 skill a week. It doesn't matter as long as you're moving forward and making progress. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and have a wonderful day.